Hey guys, it's me Astrid, and I guess now is as good a time as any to show you my new orchid setup and layout. So for those of you who don't know, I did just move, and that involved moving all of my orchids. And I picked this place specifically for its south-facing window, so my orchids are going to get adequate light during the day. And as you can see, I have most of my Cattleya types and sun-loving types right there, getting nice bright sun all day. They did not get sunburned yesterday, so I'm just going to keep leaving them in the sun until they tell me otherwise, because as we all know, the orchids tell you what they want. But let's get started on this tour. So first off, we've got my Bulbophyllum barbagirum. This one had some mites. It has 2 new growths, but it's not doing a lot. Here is my Oncidium Pacific Sunset. Its new growth is getting pretty big, as you can see, and it's putting out some new roots, but all these orchids have been getting a little bit neglected because of the move. Here's my 2 Nelly Eilers on one mount. They're not doing much. They're really not doing much. I predict this plant might just call it quits soon, but we'll see. Here we have my Oncidium Heaven Sent Redolence. As you can see, its new pseudobulb is really plump. Now I've been kind of peeking down the leaves lately, looking, maybe for a flower spike, but alas, I do not see one, so we'll wait on this one to bloom for us. Next we have the Sherry Baby, which is a division I took off my mom's Mother's Day present. Here is a new growth, and we have a flower spike coming, so that's going to grow up tall and smell great for us. Next, let's move on to my Dendrobium Unicum. It has also been being neglected. Let's just face it, everything's going to be kind of dry right now because I have not had time to water. But it has beautiful new roots, and it's got 1, 2 new growths. Oh my god, this one, look, this one, I swear to god, it was like half as tall yesterday. This one right here, so it's really kind of blowing up. And there's another really tiny new growth popping out right here. Do you see that little thing? So this one's just seems to be really pleased with being in moss. Now we have my Cyclops orchid that I got as kind of a rescue. It has been letting its flower spikes finally die, and it has been putting out this new growth here, which is getting pretty sizable. Although it's growing very slowly, I don't know if the plant is mad with me or what, but the pseudobulbs are actually, they've plumped up a lot, and before my move they were almost smooth, so it goes to show you orchids can really recover from a lot. Next, let's move up here. So we've got my, I guess this is technically Colmenara Wildcat. Now if we look in here, yes, check it out. Wait, I'm gonna get it. Okay, look at that. There's a flower spike coming for me from this new growth. And I predict that the same will happen with this new growth as they get bigger. This thing has just taken over the pot extremely with its new roots. It's doing very well, although it has some little spotting on the leaves like this wet spots, and that makes me very worried, but it's putting out a flower spike, so I'm going to hold out some hope. We've got my only surviving Miltoniopsis. The other 2 caught infections and died, which was upsetting, but we've got this one. It's the Rosy Batman. It's one of the first ones I got, and it's doing okay, but nothing exciting. It's just putting out 4 or 5 new growths, which is cool, but not that exciting. Next, let's look at the Dendrobium Phalaenopsis orchids I have. So you remember how we looked at the new growths coming up? I can't tell which one is which anymore. We'll just get a surprise when they bloom. But here's this new growth. It's really nice and big, and they're putting out lots of new roots. You can see better even on this new growth. Look down there. They're just throwing out new roots, and this new growth has grown a lot in the last month. It's just been really doing well. So And I have these guys kind of tied up because I would like them to all grow canes straight up in a bunch. And that way it will get a nice bloom display someday, I think. But yeah, they're kind of putting a few roots out in the pot. You can see this stuff here, but nothing that amazing. We have my Miltonius Spectabilis. This is a species orchid. It's got this little new growth here. I left the old sheath on because I'm just fascinated by it and I want to keep it until it gets a new one, but nothing amazing there. Dendrobium Jeonnam, putting out another new keiki for whatever reason, but also putting out, let's see, can you really see on the camera? Got a new growth and new roots just shooting out from everywhere. This plant has really begun to take over its pot, which is an orchid grower's dream, as we all know, after repotting. So that's exciting. Okay, did I get this whole shelf? I think I did. Now, we've got Encyclia cochleata. As you remember, I was complaining that all he's doing is putting out roots, roots, roots. Well, guess what we finally have? Guess what? One of those little eyes or whatever, this little thing, it put a new growth out. Look at how fat that is. It's going to be a new growth. I'm super, super excited to see this. And it's taking full sun really well. It's put all its little baby roots out and they still have green growth tips. They're growing in and it's doing very, very well. I'll just put you back here. This eBay Cattleya, not doing much, really wrinkly, don't know what to do. We've got the Leia Cattleya Angel Love Pinky has put 2 very fat roots out. I am proud of you for that, but get me some more. And there's a new growth coming right here. My video camera's really bright, so I can't see the screen that well, but I hope you saw that. We've got my Phoenicia Falcata that I got from an orchid auction, and it is having colored root tips, which is one of my favorite things about Phoenicia Falcata orchids. And it looks like it is putting a new growth out. God, where is it? Somewhere around here, but it's putting out lots of new leaves and it's looking really gorgeous. I mean, look how this plant catches the light. This might be my thumbnail. It's just too stunning. Too stunning. Oh, I love Phoenicia Falcata orchids. They're great. And I'll try to put up a video of me potting this soon. Now we've got my Dendrobium Jeonnam Keikis. I took them out of the pot and I mounted them, and the roots are they're just going wild. So I might actually just pot this at some point, but they're doing very healthy. I might just pot them back up with the main plant at some point. And here we have a new orchid, and oh, new orchid, your flowers are going. Can someone get me the ID on this? I think this is a Dendrobium Phalaenopsis or Dendrobium bigibum. I'm just not sure. It's got some new buds coming, and it had a new flower spike coming, which was very exciting for me. But some of its leaves have turned yellow since I got it, and its flowers are drooping, so I don't know what to do. It has a very light honey fragrance, and I hope that the next flower spike blooms again and I will get to smell it even better with the next bloom. Okay, so we've got Encyclia cochleata variety alba. I think this plant is kind of screwed. Its new growth died. I'm just going to keep it in a pot and see what happens. We have my very sad looking Maxillary tenuifolia. It's putting down a lot of roots here, but it's just shriveling and I don't really care about it enough. Its new growths are all starting to plump at the belly. You can see this kind of little plumping that they're doing, so maybe the new pseudobulbs will look nicer, but I'm not in love with this plant, so I can't bring myself to care that much about it. We've got a new Cattleya that I found at Trader Joe's. Is she gorgeous or what? I just really love this, though the flowers are really short-lived. They're already starting to brown, you can see. This one has this lovely lemony fragrance. This one looks like it might be one that happens to have an ID. I'm not sure, but if any of you know, please give me a hint. This one is gorgeous, and it kind of smells lemony, but I compare a lot to that Yeah, it just smells lemony. Right now it smells a little bit like sunscreen even, but she's a gorgeous orchid as well. Okay, moving on. We've got the No ID Pink Cattleya that smelled really, really lemony, lost its blooms and is just kind of sitting there. It's shriveling, so I might put it in sphagnum moss actually because it's really kind of losing some volume on those canes. Next we have Cattleya for Bessie Eye. And what did you do, Cattleya for Bessie Eye? Oh, you just put one root out all stupidly. Why did you do it? Why did you only put one root? I will never know. You can't really talk to plants and reason with them, so. But there's its root, and otherwise it's not doing much. But this growth did seem to start greening up a bit. This one was growing under lights that were way too bright, so it started to get kind of not good. All right, who else? This is the Sophrolalia Cattleya Hawaiian Lightning cross Sophrolalia Cattleya Swordbear. I always am amused by this name. It hasn't done a lot, but its new growths have gotten bigger. You see this one and this one. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, sorry. Oh my word. This is what you get for quitting your allergy pills early. But yeah, it's growing. No sheaths, no nothing. I think it might want, I don't know, more moisture in its media. I'm not sure, but whatever. We've got my Phoenicia Falcata Takakuma that I got at an orchid show. Now it's doing great in this setup, but it hasn't done very much except kind of pop out this new leaf and a new root. No flowers, no nothing. Nothing exciting, nothing special is coming out of this, so we'll see what happens. We've got my other eBay purchase. It's not looking amazing, but it has a new growth here. You see that? Focus camera, come on. Yes, there we go. Little tiny new growth. I don't know what it's going to happen, but we'll see. We have my Christmas cactus that was grown from 1 2 liberated growths. It has put out a lot of green. It has grown a lot. I know every month I show you and it gets bigger. Now this growth came out kind of skinny, so I thought it needed more sun. I decided to put it in the window and we'll see if it appreciates that. But the roots are so grown in that it looks like I might need to repot it actually, which is exciting. We've got my Polka Dot Plants. I tried to start a terrarium with these, but they died. I've been letting them stand in water and they've put out roots. So they're kind of growing under water culture for me. Yeah, look at that. Is that wild or what? These plants, I read on Plants Are the Strangest People. The guy said polka dot plants, you know, you should probably water them. And just for good measure, you should water them immediately right again because they probably need water again right away. These like a lot of water and a lot of sun. And the more sun you give them, the more pink they get. Now that they've been in direct sun for a day, this pink has gotten more intense, this red has gotten more intense. They're looking good. And the new growths that come in are going to have more color because of that light. Now, let's get to Brassavola nodosa. What up, dog? Okay, so I'm going to move an orchid out of my way. This one is doing great. It got one new growth broken off during the move, which made me sad, but it has so many healthy new growths and so many healthy roots taking over this mount. You guys remember when I mounted it the first time? Yeah, well, these roots are just taking over the place. Let me see if I can find you the sheaths that are coming out. Here we go. We've got this sheath, and we've got this sheath, and we've got this sheath. And I think the plant is getting enough sun that it's going to grow. It also has these 1 and 2 new growths here. One and the one I can't reach that has green rather than white around it. Those are growing in too, so they might bloom for me too. This plant is looking amazing, and it's one of my favorite orchids. I really can't wait to smell this one in bloom. Now we have my collection of Maneki-Neko, which I love. We've got Encyclia cochleata, my specimen size guy. He's doing well, but he again, neglect because of moving and water. But he's got some new growths coming up. This one's getting nice and big. It's setting down roots. We've got 3 lots of new growth, so that's good. We've got my Phalaenopsis pinlong cherry. No new leaves, dried up flower spike, not doing much. I'm giving it more sun because the undersides of its leaves have been going kind of green rather than purple, and I want it to keep these bright spots, so I think it might be a higher light Phalaenopsis. Now we've got my yellow Phalaenopsis. What is it called? Cutie Honey. I did find an ID for it, but it might just be a trade name. Now it's been growing out leaves all kinds of strange. It's grown out this one small, this one bigger. Hopefully this one will come in even bigger, but we'll see. I really hope I can get it to rebloom. And we know how I talked to you about things sticking to mounts? Well, look at that root right there. You see that? Totally sticking to the mount. It's not budging for anything. This is what happens when you leave stuff on a mount for a while. It's amazing. I'm really pleased about it. Okay, let's move on to my Dendrobium nestor. I nicknamed it Odo, and for funsies, I tweeted it to the actor Rene Auberjonois, who played Odo, and he tweeted me back about it and said he loved it, so that was my happy little nerd moment. We've got these growths. They're doing pretty well. They're pretty big, but nothing that exciting. The roots are growing out here, and it's just being a good little plant. I hope it likes the lighting I have it in. It doesn't turn too dark green, so I think it's good. Okay. Next we have my no ID, maybe it's Oncidium Rosy Sunset or something like this, but it's got white flowers, I don't know. Now I'm mad because I gave a division of this plant to my tutor, and I gave her the healthier one because I wanted her to have a good orchid experience. And she said it bloomed its full head off for her, and here I am sitting with this division doing jack shit. That's not fair. Not fair. But hopefully these growths are going to come in nicely and give me some flowers this fall. What do you think? Cross your fingers for me, guys. I know I just showed you in another video, but we got my Pinguicula. This flower is booming over. It's beautiful, lovely, amazing. And the next little flower is coming up right in the center. You see that? Isn't that cute? It's precious. Okay. Now we've got Bulbophyllum Fascinator. Remember how I was like, oh, maybe that's going to be a flower spike. Maybe it's not a flower spike. It is a new pseudobulb. But you know what new pseudobulbs mean? New pseudobulbs mean new flowers at some point. Hopefully. Maybe this will just grow round and round and round and never flower for me, but I'm hoping for the better. So yeah, this growth is so cute, and it's amazing to watch. It grew straight out and then it curved right up. So it's going to be a nice little pseudobulb for me. Next we've got my Paphmodiae hybrid. I don't love this, but it was my first Paphiopedilum, so I'm keeping it. And the leaves have gotten really big. I might compare it to last month to see how much it's grown, but it's doing good. We've got my no ID Bulbophyllum, who is suffering of neglect. You poor baby. It had this new little thing here for months, and it just hasn't done anything with it. So I don't know if this plant's just going to slowly die on me or what, but oh well. It's lost. It's lost. We've got my Sideria japonica, and she's putting out 2 new roots, and the new leaf has grown even longer. She's doing really well. Next we've got my no ID Phalaenopsis that I've been trying to rescue for over a year, and it's putting out a new little root. God, it might come up on 2 years that I've been working on this damn plant. Wow, time flies. But it has this yellow edging around the leaf. It is not a variegated plant. I think this is some kind of Phalaenopsis illness. I'm not sure, but whatever. I want it to flower for me. Even the flowers are ugly. I don't like it, but I have sentimental attachment. We've got my sunburned big pink Phalaenopsis, and she's doing well. It looks like the leaf she put out was smaller than her new leaves, meaning she's kind of recovering from being repotted, but she's doing well. No major changes, no major root growth going on right now, so we'll just have to wait on her. Next we've got that Phalaenopsis World Class. You remember the one with the fabulous lips? Well, she's growing too. I was going to mount her, and then I had to move, and I packed my sphagnum moss, so I just stuffed her into a cup with some sphagnum with no ventilation, and she's still putting out a new leaf, so she's not too mad. And finally, we have Brassocatlia binosa cross Brassivola nodosa, or Brassivola little stars, cross Brassivola little stars. This one doing okay. It's putting out a new growth that is just covered in happy sap. Do you see those droplets there? My word. And it has another little new growth on the other side here, but I don't know how it's going to do because the growth it's attached to is very, very wobbly. We'll see. And then the second one is also putting out a new growth a little bit later than its sibling, and it's doing well. Now these plants, though they have brassivola in their DNA, apparently sunburn very, very easily. This is in a shadier spot than my brassivola nodosa, and they've just both been turning way purple. Like one of the leaves was almost black one day. You can see that purple. So I guess these, though they have so much brassivola, so much cattleya in their parentage, they don't like that much sun. So I might have to scoot these guys out of the direct sun for a while. But anyway, oh yeah, we got Paphnivium hybrid. Its little growth is coming along, but I'm not holding out hope for my care to be good enough for it. So we'll see how that goes. So yeah, I think I talked about every orchid. This is my August 2015 orchid blah blah, and it's a beautiful life. It's beautiful plants in a beautiful new place. I can't wait to give you a home tour once we have everything put together. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this, and I can't wait to see your guys' August orchid tours. Please post them if you're growing orchids. You know us orchid growers, we just can't get enough, and that includes me. So thanks so much for watching. Have a nice day and happy growing. Bye guys.